Hey Squishies! Welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Doki Doki Literature Club. Last time, some stuff actually happened, which is awesome. We found out that Sayori is actually pretty depressed, and got a little closer to Natsuki, had an almost moment, and I believe what's up next is the festival, which I'm assuming is probably the climax of the game, based on the fact that, well, they've been building up to it like it is. So let's jump right in. It's the day of the festival. Of all days, I expected this to be the one where I'd be walking to school with Sayori. But Sayori isn't answering her phone. I considered going to her house to wake her up, but decided that's a little too much. Meanwhile, the preparations for the event should be nearly complete. I managed to carry all the cupcakes myself by carefully stacking 2 trays. Natsuki is already texting up a storm, but I can't respond thanks to my hands being full. Funnily enough, I probably feel the same way as Natsuki about the event. I'm more excited for it to be over so I can spend time with Sayori and Natsuki at the festival. But knowing Monika, I'm sure the event will be great too. Frobar. La la la. I do. Frobar, you're the first one here. Thanks for being early. That's funny, I thought at least Uri would be here by now. Monika is placing little booklets on each of the desks in the classroom. They must be the ones she prepared that have all the poems we're performing. In the end, I found a random poem online that I thought Monika would like and submitted it. So that's the one I'll be performing. I'm surprised you didn't bring Sayori with you. Yeah, she overslept again. That dummy. You'd think that on days this important she'd try a little harder. I say that, but I suddenly remember what Sayori told me yesterday. And I suddenly feel awful knowing it's not nearly that simple for her. I only said it because it's the way I'm used to thinking. But maybe I should have gone to wake her up after all? Ah ha ha. You should take a little responsibility for her, Frobor. I mean, especially after your exchange with her yesterday. You kind of left her hanging this morning, you know. Exchange? Monika, you know about that? Of course I do. I'm the club president. That explains nothing, Monika. But, I stammer, embarrassed. Did Sayori really tell her about it that quickly? Oh, I guess Sayori could have told her. About how I basically turned down her confession? That makes me really seem like the bad guy here. But I'm the one who knows what's best for her. Right? Jeez. You don't know the full story at all, so don't worry. I probably know a lot more than you think. Yeah, because you're creepy, Monika. Eh? Monika is being as friendly as usual, but for some reason I felt a chill down my spine after hearing that. Yeah? Hey, do you want to check out the pamphlets? They came out really nice. Yeah, sure. I grabbed one of the pamphlets laid out on the desks. Oh yeah, they really did. Something like this will definitely help people take the club more seriously. Yeah, I thought so too. I flipped through the pages. Each member's poem is neatly printed on its own page, giving it an almost professional feel. I recognized Natsuki's and Yuri's poems from the ones they performed during our practice. What's this? I flipped to Sayori's poem. It's different from the one she practiced. It's one that I haven't read before. Get out of my head, get out of my head, get out of my head, get out of my head. Whole bunch of get out of my heads. Get out of my head. It's just called percent. $14, $15, $16, $17, $18, $19, $20, $21. Now it's way more than 100 words, so that's some Wait, there's more. Get out of my head before I do what I know is best for you. Get out of my head before I listen to everything she said to me. Get out of my head before I show you how much I love you. Get out of my head before I finish writing this poem. But a poem is never actually finished. It just stops moving. This is very red flaggy. Sayori is deeply depressed. She's talked about how she should remove herself for my protection. This sounds potentially suicidal. And everything she said to me, I am now convinced that Monica is stoking. She must be Monica, and she's stoking something very dark in Sayori. What is this? Reading the poem, I get a pit in my stomach. Frobor? What's wrong? Nothing. This poem feels completely different from everything else Sayori's written. But more than that, I changed my mind. I'm gonna go get Sayori, so... well, alright. Try not to take too long, okay? I quickly leave the classroom. Don't strain yourself, Monica calls out after me. I quicken my pace. What was I thinking? I should have tried a little bit harder for Sayori. It's not a big deal to at least wait for her or help her wake up. Even the simple gesture of walking her to school makes her really happy. Besides, I told her yesterday that things will be the same as they always have been. That's all she needs and what I want to give her. I reach Sayori's house and knock on the door. I don't expect an answer since she's not picking up her phone either. Do these children not have parents? Like yesterday, I opened the door and let myself in. Sayori? She really is a heavy sleeper. She's dead. I swallow. I can't believe I ended up doing this after all. Waking her up in her own house. Isn't that more like something a boyfriend would do? In any case, it just feels right. Outside Sayori's room, I knock on her door. Sayori? Wake up, dummy. There's no response. I really didn't want to have to enter her room like this. Isn't it kind of a breach of privacy? She's either dead or not there. But she really leaves me no choice. I gently open the door. That's... What the hell? What the hell? Is this a nightmare? It has to be. This isn't real. There's no way this can be real. Sayori wouldn't do this. Everything was normal up until a few days ago. That's why I can't believe what my eyes are showing me. I suppress the urge to vomit. Just yesterday, I told Sayori I would be there for her. I told her I know what's best and that everything will be okay. Then why would she do this? How could I be so helpless? God, the music here is so great. Just this incredibly dark variation on that bright, cheerful theme of the game. What did I do wrong? Turning down her confession? That has to have been what pushed her over the edge. Her agonized scream still echoes in my ears. Why did I do that to her when she needed me the most? Why was I so selfish? This is my fault. My swarming thoughts keep telling me everything I could have done to prevent this. If I just spent more time with her, walked her to school, and gave her what I know she wanted out of our relationship. I mean, yes to the being there for her as a friend, but if you don't feel that way, you don't feel that way. And it doesn't actually help her to pretend to. I know I could have prevented this. Screw the literature club. Screw the festival. I just lost my best friend. Someone I grew up with. She's gone forever now. Nothing I do can bring her back. This isn't some game where I can reset and try something different. Well, I had only one chance and I wasn't careful enough, and now I'll carry this guilt with me until I die. Nothing in my life is worth more than hers, but I still couldn't do what she needed from me. And now, I can never take it back. Never, 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 never. And now, new game is all weird, and Sayori is all messed up and partially replaced by Monica. That implies some things. Some really, really dark things that I admittedly had already started to suspect. Although actually, she's replaced by bits and pieces of Natsuki and Uri as well. But overall, the general effect is Monica. Like, she's kind of the dominant one of the three, replacing Sayori. The game very clearly wants me to click this messed up option. So, let's keep going. I see an annoying girl running toward me from the distance, waving her arms in the air like she's totally oblivious to any attention she might draw to herself. That girl is Thwan Yishgulf, my neighbor and good friend since we were children. You know, the kind of friend you'd never see yourself making today, but it just works out because you've known each other for so long. We used to walk to school together on days like this, but starting around high school, she would oversleep more and more frequently, and I would get tired of waking up. If she's going to chase after me like this, I almost feel better off running away. Am I going to have to play through the whole game again? However, I just sigh and idle in front of the crosswalk and let Thwani Guild catch up to me. Oh. It's an ordinary school day like any other. Mornings are usually the worst, being surrounded by couples and friend groups walking to school together. Meanwhile, I've always walked to school alone. So Sayori's just been sucked out of existence. I always tell myself it's about time I meet some girls or something like that. But I have no motivation to join any clubs. I'm perfectly content just getting by on the average while spending my free time on games and anime. There's always the anime club, but it's not like there would be any girls in it anyway. Hey now, plenty of girls watch anime. The school day is ordinary as ever, and it's over before I know it. After I pack up my things, I stare blankly at the wall, looking for an ounce of motivation. Clubs. There really aren't any that interest me. Besides, most of them would probably be way too demanding for me to want to deal with. I guess I have no choice but to start with the anime club. Frobor? Monica? Yeah, she is partially replacing Sayori. Oh my goodness, I totally didn't expect to see you here. It's been a while, right? Yeah, it has. Monica smiles sweetly. We do know each other. Well, we rarely talked, but we were in the same class last year. Monica was probably the most popular girl in class. Smart, beautiful, athletic. Basically completely out of my league. So having her smile at me so genuinely feels a little... What did you come in here for, anyway? Oh, I've just been looking for supplies to use for my club. Do you know if there's any construction paper in here? Or markers? I guess you could check the closet. You're in the debate club, right? About that. I actually quit the debate club. Really, you quit? Yeah. To be honest, I can't stand all of the politics around the major clubs. It feels like nothing but arguing about the budget and publicity and how to prepare for events. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. Everybody thinks that, but turning something you enjoy into a chore can sometimes backfire. It can suck the enjoyment out of it. There's some research on this. Sometimes, taking your favorite hobby and turning it into a job makes people really happy. But oftentimes, it instead turns something they used to enjoy into a chore. Which sucks. Anyway, in that case, what club did you decide to join? Actually, I'm starting a new one. A literature club. I love that little glitching effect it keeps doing. Literature? That sounds kind of dull. How many members do you have so far? It's kind of embarrassing, but there are only 3 of us so far. It's really hard to find new members for something that sounds so boring. Well, I can see that. But it's really not boring at all, Literature can be anything. Reading, writing, poetry. I mean, one of my members even keeps her manga collection in the club room. I mean, that is true. Those all count as forms of literature. Heck, even film and television can be counted as that. Most schools that don't have a film department count it as part of the English department for purposes of studying film. Production, if they do it, is usually under something like communications. Again, unless they have an actual film department. Wait, really? Yeah, it's funny, right? She always insists that manga is literature too, because it is. I mean, she's not wrong, I guess. And besides, a member's a member, right? Did Monica say she? Hey, Frubor, by any chance, are you still looking for a club to join? I guess so, but in that case, is there any chance you could do me a big favor? I won't ask you to join, but if you could at the very least visit my club, it would make me really happy. Please? Well, I guess I have no reason to refuse. Besides, how could I ever refuse someone like Monica? Sure, I guess I could check it out. Awesome. You're really sweet, Frobor, you know that? It's nothing, really. Okay. Current theory is that Monica knows she's in a game, has power over the game as a result of this knowledge, and has a crush on my character. So she is eliminating her rivals. Either that, or she knows she's in a game, it's been played over and over again. Her character is notably not a romance option, so she has become bitter over that and now seeks to eliminate everyone else or to replace them so that she can become one. I'll look for the materials another time. You're more important. And thus, today marks the day I sold my soul to Monica and her irresistible smile. I feel like that may be more true than my character knows. I timidly follow Monica across the school and upstairs, a section of the school I rarely visit, being generally used for third-year classes and activities. Monica, full of energy, swings open the classroom door. I'm back, and I brought a guest with me. Whoa, that was... okay. A guest? Seriously? You brought a boy? Way to kill the atmosphere. Don't be mean, Natsuki. But anyway, welcome to the club, Frobor. All words escape me in this situation. This club is full of incredibly cute girls. So, let me guess. You're Monica's boyfriend, right? Well, no, I'm not. Natsuki. The girl with a sour attitude, whose name is apparently Natsuki, is one I don't recognize. Her small figure makes me think she's probably a first year. Anyway, this is Natsuki, energetic as usual. And this is Uri, the Vice President. It's nice to meet you. Didn't Sayori used to be the Vice President? I'm not sure. Uri, who appears comparably more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with someone like Natsuki. Yeah, it's nice to meet both of you. So I ran into Frobor in a classroom and he decided to come check out the club. Isn't that great? Wait, Monica, didn't I tell you to let me know in advance before you brought anyone new? I was going to, well, you know. Sorry. I didn't forget that, but I just happened to run into him. No, you didn't. You came into my classroom. In that case, I should at least make some tea, right? Yeah, that would be great. Why don't you come sit down, Frobor? The girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. Yuri walks to the corner of the room and opens the closet. Meanwhile, Monica and Natsuki sit across from each other. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Monica. So, I know you didn't really plan on coming here, but we'll make sure you feel right at home, okay? As president of the Literature Club, it's my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone. I'm surprised there aren't more people in the club yet. It must be hard to start a new club. You could put it that way, especially if you keep eliminating and replacing them. Not many people are very interested in putting out all the effort to start something brand new, especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention, like literature. You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile. But it makes school events like the festival that much more important. I'm confident that we can all really grow this club before we graduate. Right, Natsuki? Well, I guess. Natsuki reluctantly agrees. I've probably mentioned this in a past video, but I hate how visual novels will handhold you by having a character say something and then immediately having the narrator describe what the character just said. Like, we know who was talking, you don't need to tag it, and you don't need to tell me she reluctantly agrees when literally her line was reluctant agreement. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal. Monica must have worked really hard just to find these two. Yuri returns to the table carrying Yuri returns to the table carrying a tea set. She carefully places a teacup in front of each of us before setting down the teapot in the middle. It's awesome that something finally happened. But going directly from that back to the boring-ass beginning of the game, now that the initial intrigue of, oh, Sayori is eliminated is gone, meh. I mean, I'm gonna keep playing. It's got me... I mean, obviously I'd keep playing anyway because I'm doing it for the channel, but it's got me interested enough, I guess, to continue, but I really wish it had, like, sustained that mood that took me 4 hours of this stuff to get to, instead of going back to what I already spent way too long doing. You keep a whole tea set in this classroom? Don't worry, the teachers give us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book? I guess. Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you. And that's not... Insulted, Uri looks away. I meant that, you know... I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but at least enjoy tea. I'm glad. Uri faintly smiles to herself in relief. So, Frobor, what kinds of things do you like to read? Well, considering how little I've read these past few years, I don't really have a good way of answering that. Manga? I mutter quietly to myself, half joking. Natsuki's head suddenly perks up. It looks like she wants to say something, but she keeps quiet. Not much of a reader, I guess. Well, that could change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. Anyway, what about you, Uri? Well, let's see. Uri traces the rim of her teacup with her finger. My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me. And telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive. Uri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seems so reserved and timid since the moment I walked in, but it's obvious by the way her eyes light up that she finds her comfort in the world of books, not people. Oh my god! Stop yawning! Sorry. I need to breathe more. I'm trying to get through this quickly because I want to get through it quickly. But that means I'm not breathing in as much as I should be, and then I yawn. But you know, I like a lot of things. Stories with deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. Isn't it amazing how a writer can so deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? Anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror lately. I read a horror book once. I desperately grasp something I can relate to at the minimal level. At this rate, Uri might as well be having a conversation with a rock. I'd expect that from you, Uri. I'm sorry, I cannot do a laugh. And the bewildering variety of laugh onomatopoeia in this is... I don't know what kind of laugh they actually mean, because laughs don't actually sound like that. I don't know. Anyway, I'm probably going to go back to mostly skipping them. It suits your personality. Oh, is that so? Really, if a story makes me think, or takes me to another world, then I really can't put it down. Surreal horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, if only for a brief moment. Gee, I wonder if the game is commenting on itself again. I hate horror. Oh, why is that? Well, Natsuki's eyes dart over to me for a split second. Never mind. That's right, you usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki? What? What gives you that idea? You left a piece of scrap paper behind last club meeting. It looked like you were working on a poem called Don't Say It Out Loud, and give that back. Fine. Natsuki, you write... Oh, sorry, that's me. Natsuki, you write your own poems? Well, I guess sometimes. Why do you care? I think that's impressive. Why don't you share them sometime? No! Natsuki averts her eyes. You wouldn't like them. Not a very confident writer yet? I understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities and showing even the deepest reaches of your heart. you have writing experience too, Uri. Maybe if you share some of your work, you can set an example and help Natsuki feel comfortable enough to share hers. I guess it's the same for Uri. We all sit in silence for a moment. Hey, I just got an idea. How about this? Natsuki and Uri look quizzically at Monika. Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. Then next time we meet, we'll all share them with each other. That way, everyone is even. I thought it was a good idea. Well, I think you're right, Monika. We should probably start finding activities for all of us to participate in together. I did decide to take on the responsibility of Vice President, after all. I need to do my best to nurture the club as well as its members. Besides, now that we have a new member, it seems like a good step for us to take. Do you agree as well, Frobor? Hold on, there's still one problem. Yeah, what's that? Now that I've reached the most important topic, I bluntly come forth with what's been on my mind the entire time. I never said I would join this club. Monika may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made any decision. I still have other clubs to look at, and, I lose my train of thought. All three girls stare back at me with dejected eyes. But I'm sorry, I thought... And the girls exchange glances before Monika turns back to me. I guess I need to tell you the truth, Frobor. The thing is, we don't have enough members yet to form an official club. We need 4. Didn't they used to need 5? And I've been trying really, really hard to find new members. And if we don't find one more before the festival... I'm defenseless against these girls. How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's like this? I would feel terrible for letting everyone down in this situation. And besides, the club itself seems pretty relaxed. So if writing poems is the price I need to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls... Right. Okay, I've decided then. I'll join the literature club. One by one, the girls' eyes light up. Oh my goodness, really? Do you really mean that, Frobor? Yeah? It could be fun, right? You really did scare me for a moment. I mean, if you really just left after all this, I would be super pissed. Frobor, I'm so happy. We can become an official club now. Thank you so much for this. You're really amazing. I'll do everything I can to give you a great time, okay? Thanks, I guess. Okay, everyone. I think with that we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Everyone remember tonight's assignment. Write a poem to bring to the next meeting so we can all share. Monika looks over at me once more. Frobor, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself. Yeah. Can I really impress the class star Monika with my mediocre writing skills? I already feel the anxiety welling up inside me. Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat as Uri cleans up the tea set. I guess I'll be on my way then. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow then. I can't wait. With that, I depart the club room and make my way home. The whole way, my mind wanders back and forth between the 3 girls. Natsuki, Uri, and of course, Monika. Will I really be happy spending every day after school in a literature club? Perhaps I'll have the chance to go closer to one of these girls. Alright, I'll just need to make the most of my circumstances, and I'm sure good fortune will find me. And I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. And now we do the poem minigame. You have unlocked a special poem. Would you like to read it? Okay. That's pretty much Sayori's character in a nutshell, isn't it? Happy thoughts, happy thoughts, happy thoughts. God, she looks like a stick figure Monika from Madoka Magica. I mean, I guess Monika did die for our sins, so it's not inappropriate. Okay. So the thing is, if I go for Natsuki first, will things play out exactly the same way they did before? Because that would be kind of boring. On the other hand, if I don't go for Natsuki first, she might get killed, and then my favorite character is gone. For at least this first one, I'm gonna go with Natsuki terms. And... no. I don't know. I'm gonna go with Uri terms, or try to. Or maybe I can balance. I'm gonna try to balance. See what happens. So what here is a Uri kind of term? Ambient sounds, I mean it's polysyllabic. That's pretty Uri. Yep. And for Natsuki, pink. Graveyard is pretty Uri. While milk is Natsuki. Eternity is Uri. Color is Natsuki. Heartbeat sounds... oh, that was a Natsuki one. Oops. Then I have to definitely do a Uri one for this one. Scars. Okay. So now we need a Natsuki. Don't we? I switched them last time, but I still did them in a pair. So yeah, let's do a Natsuki. And a Uri. And a Natsuki. And a Uri. And... are fireflies cute? Yes, okay. Broken is a Uri. Word. None of these really feel very much like Natsuki words. So I'm going to go the Uri word and hope for a Natsuki one next time. Okay. Now let's... and... Natsuki. Okay, I think that was exactly 50-50. Hi again, Frobor. Glad to see you didn't run away on us, haha. Nah, don't worry. This might be a little strange for me, but I at least keep my word. Well, I'm back to the liturgical hub. I was the last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Whoa! Why does Uri... Uri is the one who keeps... like, Uri and Monica keep glitching. Natsuki has not glitched. Thanks for keeping your promise, Frobor. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you. Making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it. Whoa! Okay, Natsuki glitched too. Oh, come on! Like, he deserves any slack. Also, the music is just a little off. I think. I'm not sure. You already had to be dragged here by Monica. I don't know if you plan to just come here and hang out or what. But if you don't take us seriously, then you won't see the end of it. Not... That's a new one. And the music is definitely distorting. Natsuki, you certainly have a big mouth for someone who keeps a manga collection in the club room, or possibly her manga collection. Me? I think. Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monica and manga. Oh, she was saying manga. Manga is literature! Swiftly defeated, Natsuki pops back into her seat. I'm sorry, Frobor. We'll make sure to put your comfort first, okay? Uri shoots Natsuki with a disappointed glance. Anyway, now that you're in the club and all, perhaps you might have interest in picking up a book to read? Well, I can't really say no either way. Like you said, I'm in this club now. So it only feels right for me to do something like that if you ask. Wait, I didn't mean it like that. If you don't really want to, then forget I said anything, I guess. No, it's not that, Uri. I want to try to be a part of this club. So even if I don't read often, I'd be happy to pick up a book if you wanted me to. Are you sure? I just felt like, well, as Vice President and all, I should help you get started on something you might like. Uri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked out a book that I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention even if you don't usually read. And we could, discuss it if you wanted. How is this girl accidentally being so cute? She even picked out a book she thinks I'll like, despite me not reading much. Uri, thank you. I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book. Phew. Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. Now that everything's settled in, I expected Monica to kick off some scheduled activities for the club. But that doesn't seem to be the case. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet. I'm really curious to talk to Uri a little bit more. At the same time, I would feel bad for distracting her from reading. I catch a glimpse of the cover of her book. It looks like the same book that she lent to me. More than that, she seems to be on the first few pages. Crap. I think she knows me looking at her. She sneaks another glance at me and our eyes meet for a split second. But that only makes her hide her face deeper in her book. Sorry, I was just spacing out. I mutter this, sensing I made her uncomfortable. Oh, it's fine. If I was focused, then I probably wouldn't have noticed in the first place. But I'm just rereading a bit of this, so... That's the book that you gave me, right? Mm-hmm. I wanted to reread some of it. Not for any particular reason. Just curious, how come you have two copies of the same book? Well, when I stopped at the bookstore yesterday... that's not what I meant. I mean... I just happened to buy two of them. Ah, I see. There's something fairly obvious here that Uri isn't telling me, but I decided to let it go. I'll definitely start reading it soon. I'm glad to hear. Once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. It's a very engaging and relatable story. Is that so? What's the story about, anyway? Well, I looked at the cover of the book. The book is titled Portrait of Markov. There's an ominous-looking eye symbol on the front cover. Basically, it's about this religious camp that was turned into a human experiment prison, and the people trapped there have this trait that turns them into killing machines that lust for blood. Wow! Uri, everything you said in the last go-round about Natsuki's taste, just wow. Wow, that is a trashy-ass concept for a book. But the facility gets even worse, and they start selectively breeding people by cutting off their limbs and affixing them to... Oh, that might be a little bit of a spoiler. What the fuck, Uri? But anyway, I'm really into it. The book, I mean. Not the thing about the limbs. That's kind of dark, isn't it? Uri made it sound like it was going to be a nice story, so that dark turn came from nowhere. Yes, game, I get it. You're very smart. Are you not a fan of that sort of thing, Frobor? No, it's not that. I mean, I can definitely enjoy those kinds of stories, so don't worry. I hope so. Yeah, I totally forgot that Uri is into those things. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different. It's just that this kind of story, it's the kind that challenges you to look at life from a strange new perspective. When horrible things happen not just because someone wants to be evil, but because the world is full of horrible people and we're all worthless anyway. That's interesting. Then suddenly... I'm rambling, aren't I? Not again. I'm sorry. So I guess this go-round it's Uri who's going to appear evil. Hey, don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything. Or she's the one who's going to be replaced. Either or. Well, I guess it's alright then. But I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem. When I let things like books and writing fill my thoughts... My whole body gets... is what I believe it just said. I kind of forget to pay attention to other people. So I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange. And please stop me if I start talking too much. I really don't think you need to worry. That just means you're passionate about reading. So... my character doesn't seem to be picking up on the weird-ass shit that's coming out of her mouth, which means it's like the glitching and Monica appearing in front of the thing and the music getting all weird. It's extra diegetic stuff. It's happening for the perception of the player, not the character. Which is an interesting take on horror generally. It's a literature club after all. Because, you know, generally speaking, horror operates by having us empathize with a character who goes into a scary situation. Some horror does play with the medium in ways designed to enhance the disconnect and therefore fear of the viewer, reader, whatever. But it's rare to have horror that is directed entirely at disorienting the reader without having any visible threats to the characters. Thus far, all we've had is a suicide, which, by its nature, is kind of a one-off thing. We haven't seen any reason. Obviously, there will be, but we haven't seen any reason in story to expect more death. There's nothing scary in here. There's no reason for the characters to be afraid. There's not even an ironic thing where the viewer knows the characters have reason to be afraid, but they don't. There's not even dramatic irony here, really, because everything weird happening has been extra diegetic. It's an interesting series of choices. Also, I'm aware that this video is running slightly long. I'm going to get to the end of this conversation with Uri and then probably call it quits. Well, that's true. In fact, I might as well get started reading it, right? Whoa! Sorry, that one actually legit freaked me out. I don't know why. Yes. I mean, you don't have to, but... what are you saying? Let me just get the book. I quickly retrieved the book that I had put into my bag. Alright, it's fine if I sit here, right? I slip into the seat next to Yuri's. Yeah. Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive. I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to. It's just something I'm not very used to. That is, reading in company with someone. I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything. Alright. I open the book and start the prologue. I soon understand what Uri means about reading in company. It's as if I can feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. It's not a particularly bad thing. Maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Uri is in the corner of my eye. I realize that she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. It looks like she's reading from my book instead. Sorry. I was just bathing in the feeling of your body heat. Uri, you really apologize a lot, don't you? I do? I don't really mean to. Sorry. I mean... Here, this should work, right? I slide my desk and close up against Yuri's, then hold my book more between the two of them. I think it means the two of us. Or between the two desks? I suppose so. But yeah, this is basically the same as reading the manga with Natsuki. Uri timidly closes her own copy. Once we each lean in a bit, our shoulders are almost touching. It feels like my left arm is in the way, so instead I use my right hand to hold the book open. I guess that makes it kind of difficult to turn the page. Here. Uri takes her left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and forefinger. I do the same with my right arm on the right side of the book. That way I turn a page and Uri slides it under her thumb after it flips to her side. But in holding it like this, we're huddled even closer together than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. It's as if I can feel the warmth of Yuri's face and she's in the corner of my vision. Are you ready? Eh? To turn the page. Sorry. I think I got a bit distracted for a second. I glance over at Yuri's face again and our eyes meet. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her. That's okay. You're not as used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. It's probably the least I can do, since you've been so patient with me. Yeah. Aww. It's a cute little smile. We continue reading. Uri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume that she finishes the page before me, so I turn it by my own volition. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. My thumb gently letting it go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side as she catches it under her own thumb. Hey, Uri? This might be a silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit. Eh? No, I don't relate to this character at all. Definitely not. Really? I was just thinking the way she second-guesses things she says and all that. That's what you were talking about. Sorry. I thought you meant something else about her. Something else? Never mind. What else about this character? We didn't even get that far yet. I guess we'll find out. So I don't know why that came into my head. Ha ha ha. Uri, are you feeling alright? Yuri's been a little fidgety ever since we started reading. You can rest if you're feeling sick or something. Your breathing is a little... My breathing? Yuri puts her hands on her chest as if to feel her heartbeat. I didn't even notice. Anyway, I'm fine. I just need some water. Alright, don't push yourself. Yuri stands up and practically rushes out of the classroom, and that's what we're gonna call it. Let me save this. All my save games are gone. Interesting. But okay. So it's saved, and I guess that's about it. Things have definitely gotten a bit more interesting. The occasional jump scares are definitely helping with the general boredom of having to do the first day over again, as is the fact that I'm going down a different path. So I guess some interesting stuff. The game is doing some interesting things in the sense of the horror being entirely extra diegetic, like I was talking about. And yeah, I will see y'all next time, I guess. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Check out my Patreon for early access to vlogs, let's plays, essays, and more. And like I said, I'll see y'all next time. Bye!